look at the lights. We the ones don't like, but you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get funky with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Tryna get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it before FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that chicken to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No call, for real. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Brando Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like, but you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Pockets lettuce. Don't think I'm ready. You got that swag. You got that salt, that sell it. Free mind. Cash amount, we bailin'. Saw my teacher, I was the same student fella. Now I got a lawyer, straight cash, no settlement. I'm out my element, out my element. My the same, don't need no clout, no fame. No clout, bought the game, all brand new chain. I swerve the lane, call the group the gang. Whip that thing, whip it, this shit give me. Ooh, yeah. Them boys fool you trying to do it, bring it. I do. Don't want no, they pull up with they. It's times 3, this how it go. Park $1 million at the. We gon' make 'em eat that until we go. Eat it up. Rich straight to the top floor. More PJs and PJ. Rich like water, go to Cabo. Flash. Cash in the walls, hollow. Cash. Your money too small, micro. Huncho on the call, gotta. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
Ice the game, had to ice the game. So much ice, too much, had to ice the lane. Freeze the dust, freeze, had to freeze the lane. Freeze, camera phone, turn your lights off. We been on. Came from my block and growed up, guess I'm homegrown, well known. That is my cologne. I put my wrist inside the freezer, came out froze. Ice. I put my heart inside, cause I was chose. I put my heart inside and only God knows. Get a Kleenex for that baby, wipe this nose. I wipe this nose. What's a liquid till they explode? Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team.
she don't skid, splash. Think about posting up on the ground, man, delete her. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground, man, delete her. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers. All set.
Rain put the stars out. Not a board the house. Get deported out. Moved out for a shot. Marvin the Martian. I'ma put your brain up an auction. Proceed with caution. Skeleton AP is frosted. I sit back and read the offense. Was it did it the faucets? Chanel bag is ostrich. Stay down, come up in the process. Private jet, yeah. The same diamond milk, yeah. I'ma get the on welfare. The pink stone real. Bling bling blow, yeah. Mama got style, yeah. Chanel reptile player. On Mars, gotta get the grace of the God. 3 rock stars, nobody seeing the gang on guard.
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground, man, delete her. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground, man, delete her. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's he said it's a them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He made sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look at my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Heavy lay, waist snatch, back straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my, that's why they call it trampoline. Back on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you like the again. Why you was sleeping on me? I'm in 40 bands. Yeah, baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go, your man, with my name in your mouth. I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. He's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the Absolutely nowhere. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now this time he'll look to throw. A quick hitter complete. It's Gross. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. They'll drop the throw. This one complete to Giovanni Bernard. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. They'll set up to throw. He completes it to Boyd. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no
yardage. Okay.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone.
They'll look to throw. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Looking downfield for Godwin. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And that last penalty makes this 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. From the gun, Winston. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Green with a catch left side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
They'll run it here. This is Mark Walton. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Pulled in at the 24. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Room to run past midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
His throw caught right around the 6. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Jones. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And whistle resulted in losing yardage. Back to the 3. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's in a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now back to throw. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal 1st.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
He'll drop to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it'll be intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Ready. Blue ready.
Following the interception, Winston going for the deep ball. And got his man complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And Green with a catch left side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. The 40, the 30, 10. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Boyd. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Back to throw now on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And an alley to run. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
The sack on first down took him out of a traditional running play and put him in a passing situation, but didn't stop him from running anyway, did it?
No, I was surprised when he took off. I thought, oh, he's got some space. He might pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. He goes all the way and picks up the first.
Watch him now, Barney!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Now Walton. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Back to throw, and he fires one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. And the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Quan Alexander. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll look to throw here. Caught, Eifert over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Patriot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. They'll look to throw here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And an alley to run. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, 35 yards. And the interception by the Bucs D leads to a touchdown. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, and he's got him in the lead. Runs through the contact. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, here's Bernard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're going to try and throw. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll go again to Jones. He's to the 10, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, 22 yards. And this Buccaneer offense, they're running away with this one. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up losing 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a second and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He drops it off for Bernard. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Check. Fresno. Leopard. Mike's 50.
And Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. They'll pitch it out to Jones. And he's got room. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones, 85 yards. And the Bucs offense continuing to pour it on. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very They'll look to throw. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Gross. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards that time on the keeper. Brings up 4th down. Now Giorgio Tavecchio for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams. They've put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Let's go now. Right 52, right 52. Easy. My 50, my 50.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Carl Lawson coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. From the gun, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad
return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw that happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. On second down, it's Jones. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now running right through it. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Winston here to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over.
I defeated my fears, soaked a towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my check y'all and y'all peers. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I had to give them my dues. Never got a talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm a cook in this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a lot of things in this year. I hate to do with no plans. Now I don't usually get near. Oh, cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us where the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the Blackest Panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting your time. I swear, I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. We live like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mixed with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a pad of walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
Hey, this that Eastside Johnny Big Redemption like. Know what I'm talking about? Hold up.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah.
Yeah.
Get out the way, get out my way, yeah.
Yeah.
You either with me or against me though. You either with me or win. Win, 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 win.
Yeah.
Curve everything else. Win, 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 win. These I'm saying. Win, 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 win. Start chasing that. Win, 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 win.
Yeah.
Big J Rock go. On 10, 10, 10, 10. Exit at 4. Bring friend, 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 friends. Matt Black 2 dope. Jump in. You might wanna keep score. I win, 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 win. Forearm tattoos. That's squad. All of them go. Don't try. I walk in room. They eyes wide. Third album come soon. I'm glad y'all gon' die. I ain't chasing after no. I got bigger plans than staying rich. I been tapped in since I was 6. I tap dance all on them. And your diamonds like tap water. That drip way too foggy. These BBS is way awesome. Park CLS for drop to your death without warning. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. Get out the way, get out my way, yeah. You either with me or against me though. You either with me or win. Win, 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 win. Curve everything else. Win, 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 win. These I'm saying. Win, 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 win. Start chasing that. Win, 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 win. You clowns really don't stay outside when I play outside. I put the beats on them like drow side. I got the bow side and LA outside. And if you act bad, I bring the outside. Go and get your money. None of my know some funny.
I can tell real by who you're running with. I'm all in the field, duck hunt. Hit my just the, and he was like, boop.
Here.
Knew just what it was. The whole but gave it back, boop.
Yeah.
9/11, no malice, baby. But no violence, baby. My got callous, baby. My bare knuckles got talent, baby. I'm all in the wind with it. On deuce line, I've been with it. She too fine, I've been crashed 2 times. I limo tinted my new ride. I'm riding with the 12 better not pull me over. Championship going dumb. Nothing to something I won. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. Get out the way, get out my way, yeah. You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Win, 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 win. Curve everything else. Win, 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 win. These ops ain't win, 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 win. Start chasing that. Win, 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 win.
Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm 2 up right now, 2 up right now. I'm two, on one day on my third, I was 2 broke, now I'm 2 rich, made 100K on my third shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, no, I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Ooh, right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we 2 up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm 2 up right now, 2. Straight from them haters.